All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Diggie Intro podcast. I'm your host, Rob D, aka Rob Diggie, BKA Rob D, in the place to be with a special guest for this playlist that we call the New Class, which is for independent artists in different parts of their career. And I don't know if you all recognize this backdrop behind me of this gentleman here, who is a hip hop legend, goes by the name of, his government name, he probably gonna kill me for this. His government name is Stanley House, but you all know him better as Flesh and Bone. Now, the first time that I actually heard Flesh and Bone as a solo artist was on his t.h.u.g.s album way back in November of 1996. I was one of those dudes that went to Sam Goody, went and bought the CD. My brother was like, man, I don't know about that. I was like, yo, what's Bone Thugs? This is gonna be dope. So I put the CD on. I kept listening to it over and over and over again. And the only song that I resonated with the most was the North Coast song. So the North Coast song, I looped it, like literally looped and looped and looped and looped. I love the sample. I love the him bringing his brother in. He was like, yo, I'm in the session, man. Who hit me up? I was like, yo, I remember all that shit, man. So I say that to say this, that if it wasn't for me and the Queen having the dream of creating something that is good for all walks of life, all platforms, that it has brought me to this moment in front of this gentleman, you all, of Flesh and Bone. So I give you all a royal welcome of this gentleman here that we call Flesh and Bone. And Flesh, what's good? Talk to the people, man, and tell them what's up, my good brother. What's happening?
Check it, Mr. Diggie. What's going on, brother? Thank you for having me. Everybody out there in Kansas right now, tuning in all over the world. Thank you. Rest in peace, all our soldiers, our fallen ones, Shock G, Mr. Greg, DMX, our recent fallen soldiers. And well, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here, Diggie. And blessings to you and your family and those that help you guys put together what you're doing right now. It's a pleasure and an honor to be able to sit here and speak with you, sir.
Thank you, brother, man. Like I told you before we started taping, like I'm starstruck. I can't believe I'm sitting in front of Flesh and Bone, like the dude I grew up listening to, man. Like this is crazy for me right now. But putting all that aside, we got to get to business. And the reason why we reached out to you, Flesh, is we wanted to hear your particular story of the indie route. So you went the indie route. You stay with the fellas for a little while. You do some shows here and there. But you decided to go the indie route, and you figured this out early on in your career. Back in '96, you got the solo project. I want to talk about we'll break this up into pieces: the past, present, and the future. And I want to start in the past. So how was it with you doing music with your family, with Bone Thugs and Harmony? What was that experience like? Going beating Eazy-E and then going to stardom, and like, what was that process like? Right.
So, we had to be able to have we had an upbringing as toddlers. Our parents were musicians in the sense of being in bands. My aunties and uncles were in bands, and they used to have these studio sessions where they would take us into the studio where a whole full-fledged band, microphones, instruments, and all of that stuff. I have early memories of being electrocuted by these microphones, right? I'm like 4 years old and I'm grabbing a microphone, but I'm grabbing it the wrong way. And I'm literally being shocked and electrocuted by the damn microphones at like 4 or 5 years old. It's really amazing experience. But and my auntie and them grabbing the mic, like, no, you got to grab like this. And then a long way from today's microphones. I'm telling you, wireless mics are the best. You don't get electrocuted by a wireless mic.
No doubt.
But we were brought up, our family, they used to wake us up in the middle of the night with these doo-wop harmony sessions that rubbed off on us, the Motown, and, listening to, the Jacksons, Diana Ross, and all of these old Motown greats would be waves throughout the house and everything. And they used to wake us up out of the sleep, and we used to come join them and singing these beautiful songs and whatnot. Well, that rubbed off into us. And then around 9-10 years old, we started rapping. Okay. This is when Run DMC and the Beastie Boys and, well, not the Beastie Boys, but Grandmaster Flash and all of them in the late 70s going into the early 80s. And then Too Short. We actually got a dose of Too Shorts in the early 80s and all of that. All of that stuff started rubbing off on us in the early 80s. Okay. And then here come yeah, and then here come the Beastie Boys in the early to the mid to the late 80s, you dig, and Run DMC, LL Cool J, and all of that stuff. And then so we started rapping around 10, 11, 12 years old. And me, Mr. Stephenhouse, and of course you introduced me and said I love my name. Mr. Stanhouse is one of the greatest names that I love my name to death, man, and I feel sorry for who feel ashamed of what their parents named them. No matter what, you gotta love yourself, government name or nickname, whatever.
Always, brother, no
you
doubt.
have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. So me and Lil Stevie, aka Lazy Bone, and me and Charles, aka Mr. Wishbone, and Anthony, aka Crazy Bone, we started a rap group we were teenagers, like 12, 13 years old. We started this group called the Band-Aid Boys. Okay. And so here we are, elementary school, going into junior high school. We're writing, and we got this amazing chemistry. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. That style evolved when Crazy Bone went to prisons, and when we were in our early high school, 8th going into the 9th grade. Crazy got arrested, came back, and when he came back with this sick ass tongue twisting harmony ass flow. Right now we had some real sick flow, but when Craig went to prison and came back, he came back with this one rap that was so sick, and it was like he wasn't breathing. Was nonstop flow, and it went something like this. He spit was like, "Well, it's the nigga that once again, the niggas that pick up the pen and they try to continue to belong." Something like that. Yeah. Right. So he came back spitting like that, and we was like, "Yo, whoa!" And that kind of like propelled us, and everybody came back with their own tongue twisting harmony. So the only difference between us tongue twisting and a Twister or a Busta Rhymes tongue twisting is that we got harmony in it. We got harmonized. We sing. It's not just a not just a constant tongue twist of the tongue. No, we put a little bit of harmony in. That started coming in our style around like at mid high school, when we went from Band-Aid Boys to Bone Enterprise. Now I'm playing basketball, I'm playing baseball, running track and baseball and all that stuff, top notch academics, and as an academic scholar, be it that as it may, because I kept at least from a 3 to a 3.5, but I dipped to a 2.8 at one point. But I was real huge on my academics, and I was also real huge on my scholarlies. And all of that chemistry made up the drive in me to push the line as an innovator, as a creator, and to continue to, I had to have some with the street smarts and the book smarts and the athleticism and the musician in me, all came in hand to hand to make up what I came up to contribute to Bone Thugs-n-Harmony. Now, I was in the middle of college, and we had just released Bone Enterprise. That had came out, and we were going into the summer of my freshman year. I just completed my freshman year in college. Okay. Was selling drugs, and then got caught, got arrested, had to go to court. Instead of going to court, I skipped bail, and I went and running from the law, man. I decided to run to California. Okay. So I end up in California, and while I'm in California running from the law in Cleveland, I'm doing my rap thing, I'm doing my sports thing, I'm working, I'm doing all this type of stuff, I'm hustling. But the main thing that it was the entertainment, it was the entertainment business, it was the rappers, the actors, and all of that stuff that drew my conscious to the fact that if Bone Thugs-n-Harmony, if the Bone Enterprise was supposed to make it, it wasn't going to be in Ohio and Cleveland. It was going to be in California. So that's what it was. I was bumping elbows. I was going to events. I was going to the same talent shows that we were winning. And I was in talent show. I went to a few talent shows out there, a few concerts, event over there. And I was like, yo, the music business is popping out here. This is where we need to be at to make it. So I get on the phone with the guys, lay on the payphone actually. And I told them, yo, man, y'all got to come out to California. This is where it is. So we took that. I went back to Cleveland to get them. We went back to California, and while we're out there, we're auditioning for people. We're actually pulling up on celebrities' house. We're making them nervous. A lot of them, we're performing in people's front yards for them and everything. And the only one that gave us the light of day was Eazy-E. We called his office. We was calling his office for weeks. The secretary had explained that he was on the road, and when he gets off the road from touring, that she promised that he would call, and he literally called us back when he was on break from tour. We auditioned for him. I spit a rap for him. Cray spit a rap. Lay spit a rap. Busy spit a rap. We all shared verses with him on the phone. He was like, yo, this shit is dope. I want to sign y'all. I want to fuck with y'all. Where y'all at? I'm on tour right now. I'm actually finna be in Cleveland. Can y'all come open up my show for me? And we was like, hell yes. We got there. We made it to the show. We opened up the show for him. And we went through a little hurdles to really, really get things kicked off. But we ended up, as soon as Eazy-E got off tour, we ended up back in California recording Creeping on the Come Up. So it took a lot of vision, a lot of hard work. I was only 18 years old when I went to California by myself. At first, escaping the law. You dig what I'm saying? That turned into having a vision. This is where, as a rap group, if we're to make it, it ought to be in California, it seems. So that's what we made happen. Eazy-E picked us up, and we've been on, and we haven't looked back ever since. And the whole situation, and we took the whole hood with us. No sooner than Creeping on the Come Up came out, we flew all of our homies that was rapping in Cleveland, in the hood in Cleveland. We brought their asses out too, and we put them on too. A lot of success came from that. t.h.u.g.s, Graveyard Shift, Aftermath, Trey, Poetic Hustlers, all of them had significant success on Mo Thug Records, and still to this day, and even right now, I'm looking to do a more compilation, more talent signings such as that as we did, and understanding that we can be signed to a major label at the same time. We were independent as well, acting as our own CEOs and owners of record companies. Still to this day, as an independent artist, I'm on my own record label called Bone Thugs-n-Harmony Records, and it's still growing to this day. That's what's but basically, Eazy put us on. It was one of the best things, and he was a pioneer. He showed us the ropes. He was the marketing design. He was a photographer. He was a videographer. He was the engineer. He was the executive engineer. And rest in peace also to Mr. Jerry Heller, because if it wasn't for Jerry Heller, none of that stuff would have been brought to the table. I learned so much from Eazy-E and Jerry Heller and the staff that they had surrounding him. I hated to see him go, because I pretty much particularly didn't get along with the after Eazy-E passed away. I didn't too much get along with the new staff that was brought on to take over the business, even though they did a great job in upbringing in a career of Bone Thugs-n-Harmony and seeing it all the way through 6 entire studio albums. You know what I'm saying? I kind of felt that they dealt me a not so square deal when it came to, even though if I was rough on the edges, dealing with my bouts of addiction with Sherman, all of that other stuff, I think they could have dealt with Flesh and Bone a lot more better than what they tried to do with respects of, the reasons why, you don't see me on a lot of the album covers except Creeping on the Come Up, because Eazy-E did the Creeping on the Come Up album. And a lot of this is in my new book. I'm working on a new memoir right now, Flesh and Bone. Okay. Flesh and Bone tells this story as a member of Bone Thugs-n-Harmony from my point of view, from your point of view, opinion, my heartfelt experience of the life story and success of Bone Thugs-n-Harmony. And I think it's good. No one can be no author in the world that can tell the story the way I can. So I'm writing it myself. And this is, officially in the next 5 to 6 months, I will be an official author, a licensed and published author. We'll see about that. And I'm not going to reveal the title of the book yet. Just in the next couple of months, be on the lookout for my new memoir as well. That's part of the story that, and the part of the picture that I think that's long overdue. I should have written this book a long time ago, but I decided to wait because I don't think Bone Thugs-n-Harmony is still here, healthy and alive, and we have so much music that we're working on right now, solo music. We have motion pictures working on. So I kind of think it's kind of still too premature to write this book, but I think I need to get it off my shoulder because, like I say, I think we got right now, even though I'm only 47 years old, man, it's like I got another 47 years of. I truly, humbly believe that God created me to be a voice in this world for some particular reason that I'm still finding out till today. I'm still finding out today. all of my purposes in life. You'll spend the rest of your life trying to find out all of your hidden talents and bringing those talents out and honing them and mastering them and learning how to be the master craftsman that God created you to be. And I enjoy life to that extent, because you never know what you're going to discover. You being the creation, you yourself, Diggy, your wife and your family, and you guys came out of the mind of the Almighty God.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes compared to your own hidden potential. And that's where I'm at right now in my crossroads from here, or whatever the case may be. I have my inceptions, I have my beginning with Bone Thugs-n-Harmony, and I think this is somewhere in the middle. But we got a long way to go, bro. We still got a long way to go. Especially with the growth.
No, go ahead, brother. No, I was gonna say, it sounds like you still got a lot of fire in your belly still, Flesh.
It's like
belly still, man. You sound like you ain't done yet, man. You sound very passionate, and that gets me just listening to you. Is like, absolutely. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep pushing. Like I want to get better at the craft and meet more individuals and interview them and have them drop some knowledge on me and my audience. You know, to stop standing in place, man. Gotta keep pushing. Even if you're crawling, keep moving.
Absolutely.
Don't stay stagnant,
man. I swear to God.
But what I was going to say was, when we talked about you guys, so shout out to 36 and Brimstone, who was on your episode. Did a fantastic job.
That's what's up. Okay.
With the story of the impact that you guys had on the Midwest is unmatched. And that was one of the things that we zoned in on. For you all starting out in the Midwest and then going globally. I mean, Bone Thugs is a global conglomerate. Like everyone across the globe knows who you are. And just being able to do that and represent the Midwest the way you guys did it. We talked about that in the episode. But one of the things that you mentioned in what you were talking about just now was, although you kind of trendsetted rather, the quick tone, the rapid fire pace of rap, you guys had harmonies with it. And that was what made it different. That was the difference, I thought.
Right.
And it's still, people have tried to emulate it. People have tried to do it, but they don't do it like Bone Thugs and Harmony have done it and have not. I told everybody when I did the episode, you guys are one of one. There is no one that can do what you guys have done, and no one has done it as effectively since. So I'm going to put that on the record for everybody to know that. So, you guys did something incredible and continue to, spread your seeds out and everything. And the story's incredible. So I can't wait to get those memoirs, man. I'll be first in line to get that book. Hope we can see you and get an autograph. You know what I mean? It's hook a brother up. You know what I mean?
There you go. There you go. That we got to have that. That's a special. That's especially.
We got to have that, man.
Right
so
there,
let's fast forward to the present, Flesh. Let's talk about this EP behind me, Do You. Let's talk about that. How did that come about? Before we even get to that, you dropped a single in 2018 called Who Dat. And when I heard Who Dat, I was like, yo, this is dope. Like, in order to get Who Dat, you got to know about the Beastie Boys. You got to know about the Beastie Boys. And I thought that was clever, that the way you flipped the beat and how you was rapping over that. And then I heard this EP. I listened to this before we even started going on, and I was like, Louder's dope, crazy stuff. Do You, already famous, Dr. Frankenstein. I mean, Truest. I was like, yo, this is so fire, man. So talk to the audience about how you came to produce this EP in particular. What motivated you to write that music?
Well, it's been in the work before it came out. It was, first of all, I have a ton of music in preparation.
Okay.
I never take a track and rush it, for example. And then as a producer myself, I take my time with it. I'm like Leonardo da Vinci when it comes to my creative ability and capability. Right. I may start a body of work and try to complete it at least halfway. Yeah. But I need to be able to live with it no matter what it is. And every track on that record is a testament to this. And every record that I have out coming right now with the new single Dedication and those in the future to come. So basically, the creative process, I don't rush it when it comes to the production side of it as well, and especially when it comes to the writing side of it. And there's also the mixing and master side of it, because those engineers that come in and every body of work consists of a team, even down to the writers. I get in there and I flesh and I pen most of everything, but I need ideas. I love help. I encourage assistance. I encourage other people's ideas. So I share my music with those around me, those that I consider to be my assistants, and on every level, because I need to have your opinion. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about this? And I take all of that information and then I go back to the drawing board and I finish the work, even if it's 2 years later. You dig what I'm saying? I may sit on the track a year or two before it's finally complete, but that's my work ethic. And that separates Flesh and Bone from all the other rappers and producers of the world, because what you get is people bragging about how fast they can write a song. You're not going to write a heartfelt, you're not going to do anything of significance in 10 minutes. Shut that shit up.
That's facts.
And keep that shit on the shelf.
That's facts.
You're not going to do anything that's going to touch no one's heart in a span of 10 minutes, ripping some gibberish off the top of your head, talking about freestyle. Now, mind you, we all freestyle, but that's nothing to brag about. Your real body of work is going to take some time and investment, especially the investment of your thought process. And you better get other people in line to give you some advice about it. One thing about people, which also separates Flesh from the rest, is that most people refuse to accept any type of criticism. All criticism is a jab, and no. Constructive criticism, especially the ones that hit home the most, is the ones you should be giving more thought to.
Absolutely.
It's not an attack. It's not an attack. It's advice. Trust me, it's advice. And you hone that advice. So that's what it is. You have a team of writers, you have a team of producers, you have a team of people find out who your strongest critics are, and get their advice. Yeah. Find out you want to know who's going to tell you the hardest truth, is that maybe somebody, you might know somebody that don't like you or that think is a hater. No, do me a favor. Go ask their advice about some of the work. I'm getting at all of those songs from Louder all the way to the last track on the song Criminal.
No, you good, brother.
I'm sorry, let me I'm getting a phone call right now. I got to I got to decline. Let me decline, and then I'll get back to them later. Hold on, let me make sure that you pull back in.
No, you good, brother.
I hope they don't try to call back. But
you're good.
all of those records, bro, and even to the visuals and the videos that come out, consist of a lot of teamwork. It takes a lot of teamwork going in there, and the creative ability to be able to dig deep in a topic. Yeah, and it's like from all. And you can take all 9 songs on that EP right there. All of those songs took a real creative effort going into, and then that's like I know I may talk a little shit about that's not to knock the creative process of anyone. None of my competitors, none of the people that's out there selling it. Yeah, right. And whatever works for you works for you. But I don't agree with how a lot of these people, and you can hear it in the music, bro. A lot of this stuff that you hear right now, streaming, radio, whatever, mostly streaming, not too much so the road. The radio still kicking butt too. You can never knock the radio or whatnot. Yeah. But a lot of it, you can tell in almost 80% of the music that you hear that's shoved in your face by these dinosaur record companies today. I call them dinosaur record companies today because you pretty much don't need these record companies anymore, but they're signing in and everything, and then they force feeding it to you, and you can tell that it is pretty much garbage to the extent that they just found this person from West Bumfuck nowhere, and they just rushed them out there, and just because they got the resources to put $1 million behind the streams and shit like that, whatever the case may be, you can tell a lot of that shit is forced, and a lot of it sounded like, with respects to that, and I love the trap genre. The trap music is great and all that stuff too. We done tapped into a lot of that stuff, whatever the case may be. But I feel like a lot of it is rushed, and you can tell when you get a body of work and it doesn't make you revisit it again and again and again and again, then it's like no heart went into that, no thought process went into that. And I like to say that everything that I put out, that like that's a piece of my soul right there, bro. That Do You album is a piece of my soul. And that's exactly what I was feeling and what I was going through at a time when I'm like trying to get everybody to not get everybody, because what I'm on is that I'm an independent thinker. Okay. So I'm telling you, I'm gonna do me, right? Look, as long as I'm not trying to do you any bodily harm and affect you or your way of life, it's your way of life. You pursue your path of happiness, how you so choose, how you so fit. Then you should be free to do that. Do you, goddamn it, best way. Do you by all means necessary, man. Do you? We don't just do you. Be free, goddamn. Be fucking free.
That's what's up, man.
Be free. Do you? And that's what that album means. Do you, goddamn it? And that's what I'll tell every and anybody, whatever the case might be. I was just afraid. Now, what the fuck is you afraid of? Because some politician told you, oh, you can't come to my concert, motherfucker. Get the fuck up out your house. Go to a concert. Go to a baseball game. Go see some fireworks, man. Go eat a hot dog down the street. Just because some politician told you don't go outside, you're not going to go outside. Get the fuck out the house and do you and be a man and be a woman and grow. God damn it. But that's the whole. That's what inspired that concept. Yeah, that's what inspired that whole record right there, man. And I got a whole a slew of great albums, singles, and videos, and visuals, and great assets and photos and whatnot to follow, man. It's like, man, because this whole thing just lit a real fire up under me, man.
I can tell, brother. I hear the passion in your voice, man. So with that in mind, Flesh, I want to transition into the future. So one of the questions that I have is, the first one is a simple one, and it's why? Why do you continue to make music? What drives you to continue doing? What drives you to? There's not a lot of hip hop artists that from your era that are making music. You know what I mean? So what is driving you to continue to make music?
Yeah. And that's one thing. Answer your question. I always thought that. I'm like, damn, a lot of artists that I not only grew up off of that are in my, for example, same age bracket, be it that as it may, maybe a little younger, maybe a little bit older. They kind of like, it's like, I kind of like I still wonder, why have they stopped being active when it comes to their craft, making music, and I still can't figure it out. but for me, I understand that, like I say, my creative gifts. Creative gifts. God gives me a vast range of potential, human potential that I hardly tapped into, only not even a percentage of it. I say I probably tapped into maybe 10 or 20% of the talent that God graced me, which is a musician, as a producer and a writer, or what may be a part of some of that stuff. And then, of course, working on a book. I'm trying to become an official author now with the release of a new memoir, and it's only going to start there because I plan on writing a bunch of motivational pieces. They might not be as extensive as books, but some type of motivational realm that I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. However, the thing that fire that sparks in me, that keeps me creatively active, is the fact that I realized a long time ago that I was doing something good. A lot of people at some point tried to shame me into thinking that I was doing the devil's work. And I said, how can I be doing the devil's work when I'm using my own resources and creative ability, and it's my intention to do good? And then, how is it, if I'm doing the devil's work, then how the hell is it? Is it the devil blessing me, or is it God blessing me? No, it's God blessing me. So I had to shake that insecure feeling of being shamed into exploring my God-given gift God created me to be this rapper that I am today.
Absolutely.
I believe that.
Absolutely.
God created me to contribute to this world, and because it showed enough wasn't the goddamn devil. What I did was benefit God's creation. Had nothing to do with Satan.
Right.
Which a lot of people tried to shame me into, oh, you doing the devil's work. You the devil. No, I'm not. Get the fuck out of my face lying to me. No, I'm doing God's work. Yeah. So that inspires me to keep going. And I think that's why a lot of people feel as if they quit because they think they doing something other than God's work. But it's God's work. The moment I understood that when it came to me that the music that we were doing had touched other people's lives and had inspired other people, convinced me to keep going, and not only keep going, invest more time, money, and energy in it.
Absolutely.
And continue to try to write songs, even though you got to write about the drugs and the pimping and the hoeing and the guns and the bullets and the dirty politicians and the dirty cops. Don't get me wrong. You got good politicians and good cops out there, just like the whole yin and yang with the thugs and the pimps and stuff like that. But you know what? As a poet, as an artist, you have to write about all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So that's one of the things that keeps me going, like even going into the future. And I'm gonna forever create music. That's one thing for sure. The other stuff that comes along with it, like I say, I've created other businesses, and thanks to California, if my other businesses weren't heavily regulated, I was tapping into other situations on how to become a revenue entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But I have to be in an environment where there aren't these crazy tyrannical restrictions in order to do that. Yeah. I need to be able to create a business. I do not need the government telling me what I can and cannot do with that business. I don't need the government putting these nonsensical regulations on my businesses. That I also understood right now too, because I don't know. I may have a future in some type of a political arena. That's not to be said. That I don't know yet, because I need to understand fully. As long as I'm dealing with people's liberty and freedom, that might be the way I go, because I don't want to be like these politicians that trying to lie to people to get them to be a constituent and lying to them and putting handcuffs on them mentally, and not allowing them to be free thinkers. So that's another thing. That's another situation that the future may be calling me in that direction, but we shall see. What
else? Is there any other projects that you're thinking about doing, or any collaborations that you can speak of? I know some artists, things that got to be hush hush. So what can you let us know that you're working on in the future outside of your memoir you're talking about doing? You're still doing music. I think that's dope. I'm going to still continue to support that.
Absolutely.
I'm a fan. So the more music you put out, brother, I'll be right there picking it up, because I was in 96 picking up your music when you was doing solo back then. So why stop now? But what are... Is there anything else that you can share with the audience? Like, what are you still, or wanting to work on? What's something that you haven't worked on yet that you want to?
Well, you know what? Other than being a music factory, a record plant, and a book factory, definitely the recreational. I'm gonna say recreational marijuana is one of the avenues, because of course, as you can see, Crazy Bone has tapped into that with his Leaves of Legend. Brand that he's created with him and his partners, with his new strain that he just come up with, his first of the month strain. I support that heavily, and that's what I've been doing with respects to my own traveling in the United States and touring the weed dispensaries, and not only the weed dispensaries but the smoke shop as well. I encourage all of that heavily.
That's what's up.
So and the grow facilities as well, and everything, learning how they work from top to bottom. Because one of the things that I do, Diggie, is that I grow some of my own vegetables. I like to, so the same way I think in mind that one way or the other, the same way they have their grow facilities to grow marijuana, I envision being able to grow fruits and vegetables inside, instead of having outdoor farming, indoor farming.
Yeah.
And which they do have. They have a lot of indoor farming, but I'm talking about extensive indoor farming that does the whole lighting and watering for trees, not just for vine plants or potted plants or that stuff, that nature. So these are some of the things that I'm envisioning.
Okay.
And along with of course, and still has to tap into the, not so much so everybody's talking about medicinal marijuana, but that's cool. But I don't smoke marijuana for the medicinal purposes. I smoke marijuana for recreational
purposes.
Recreational purpose. I don't smoke weed. All that medicinal stuff, that's cool for the people that do it medicinally, and I support that and encourage that too. But nah, man, I'm gonna get in it for the recreational aspect of it.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm gonna be, and that's why I'm involved with it right now, and trying to partner up and have our own facilities. And there will be an official Bone Thugs and Harmony grow and dispensary.
Okay.
Owned completely by Bone Thugs and Harmony in the near future. So that's one of the things that we can look forward to. Also, definitely so that's one of the major situations that I want everybody to pay attention to in the near future, is a Bone Thugs and Harmony recreational dispensary facilities all across the
money. Let's get this money, Flesh. Let's get
the money.
You know what's so bug? What's so bug? I think is, I'm thinking as I'm listening to you talk, I'm thinking about East 1999 with butt smokers only, and to think of weed, you know, as a bad thing in 95, you know, fast forward, you know, 20 plus years later, it's going to be legalized. Come on,
it's going to be
legalized across the board. Let's stop playing.
It's legal.
Let's go ahead and just legalize it so we can have it.
It's pretty much legal.
It's just crazy to think about how we looked at it back then to where it is now. I think it's incredible, man.
Right. It is.
Man, it has been an absolute pleasure, my good brother, sitting here and soaking all the knowledge
you have
blessed with me and our audience today. And I'm going to give you the opportunity, the floor, to close us out. Who your shout outs going to, sir? Shout your people out.
Well, you know what I want to
going to, bro.
I want to first shout out, you know, God bless and rest in peace, DMX that we just recently lost. Shock G, we just recently lost. A lot of celebrities that we just recently lost. Hank Aaron just recently passed. Marvelous Hagler just recently passed. Several others. I wanted to send my condolence and love to the hundreds of thousands of people that got sick due to the COVID train that they caught and everything. And may God bless and give strength and security to those that were able to survive it and overcome it. I want to encourage all of my brothers and sisters to get your health right, your spirit right. If you haven't got on your knees and prayed to God to thank him lately, do me a favor and do yourself a favor and do your family a favor and get on your knees tonight and thank God for blessing you the breath of life and to be able to wake up today and to enjoy the day God created and the life that he created for you in this world he created for you. And don't forget the day that he created for you to be alive. Thank God for that. And I wanted to encourage everybody to go get your vitamins, your multivitamins. If you're a man, if you're a woman, go get you a multivitamin and take that multivitamin every single day. I promise you. You'll be able to tell if you don't take a multivitamin, this is the advice I'm giving you. Go get a multivitamin and take that multivitamin. If you do so, there is not a virus created by no ill intended person that can affect it. The stronger your immune system, the better off in life you're going to be. So your fruits and vegetables and your multivitamins. And I wanted to explain that to you guys. So I wanted to close with that. Shout out to you, Diggie, everybody that helped bring this together. Shout out to my little homie, Chris, that helped make this plug happen. And everybody that supported Bone Thugs and Harmony and our careers over these past going on 30-year career. We got 30 more years to go, y'all. I hope y'all continue to support our careers. Go check out my new single that I just dropped. Now check out the Do You album EP that dropped. Yeah. And check that out. That's 9 songs that you're going to ride with from the beginning to the end. Dedication. There's a single that I just dropped called Dedications that's dedicated to every last one of you, especially our loved ones that's passed away. And I want you guys to go support that song and share that song with your loved ones and continue continue to be God conscious and inspire. I'm saying, and because life is short, and stop acting like you're gonna be living forever. Because there is look, you got to treat just like this life is very, very sensitive. So treat it that way. Okay.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I look forward to the next one too, Diggy. Next time we're going to be able to do this again. I want to see you grow. I want to see your platform grow, and likewise. And Godspeed and God bless you guys.
Appreciate it, brother, and it's been a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Flesh and Bone on the Diggie A2 platform. It has been an honor and distinct privilege hanging out with you today, my good sir, and hopefully the individuals that are listening and are watching today that get, at least if they didn't learn anything else, they learned that life is short, life is precious, and you got to enjoy your life while you're still on the planet and take the most of your opportunities as they come your way. So that's all the time we have this week, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have a good one. I'll see you on next time. 100. Peace.